Welcome back to another episode of On the Subject. I'm your host, Michael Villardo, co-founder and CEO of Subject, Subject.com, Subject.ai. You know where to find us. And today we have an incredibly special guest. We have a burgeoning content creator with over 7 million views in the last 30 days. He goes by the moniker of Crazy Carl. He's all over the courses in Scottsdale, Mesa, and throughout the state of Arizona. And he's got an incredible skill to be able to bring great laughs, great community, and great golf to a home near you. His formal name is Tyler Lau, but his content name is Crazy Carl, so you got to find him. Welcome to the show today.
Wow, what an intro. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, so we're really excited because we're doing a new theme here where we're actually out playing. I do not golf much, so he's going to be much better than me. He's a scratch golfer, extremely talented. I don't think I've golfed since actually at his wedding 2 years ago. So this is the first time I've golfed in quite some time. Let's see how bad I am, and we'll get into the questions.
Where do we start?
Yeah, so why did you get into the golf content creation? Where did that start? That's where we really wanted to figure that out.
Well, I've been love golf and always kind of had an interest in content creating ever since the younger days of our youth, and just kind of started doing it and kind of evolved into what it's become today, trying to showcase them and show the world that they're pretty funny guys.
When did you do your first home video? How old were you or / we when we made our first movies?
I made some of myself.
Really? Let's hear about it.
Yeah. I think it first started out, I was actually doing scootering and stuff like that, just doing little tricks in the driveway. But
how old were you?
Probably about 9-10 years old maybe, and then evolved into some more full movies, I guess you could say. The Tuskegee Tavern and some of those showings.
And that was our 8th grade. We were one of the only people to make a film with edits and such. He actually didn't even go to my school technically, but it was really fun, and we loved being able to do content and make home movies, bring characters out. It was a really exciting time, and we learned a ton from that. So when did you start really fall in love with golf?
With golf, I would say right after college. I played baseball my whole life, and after college had to kind of hang up the cleats and then had to find something else to fill up my time, and kind of got addicted to golf, and I think I'll probably be doing it the rest of my life.
I love that. So you worked at a golf course for a while, correct?
I did, yes. Right out of college, my first summer, I did work at a golf course, Foxford Hills, back in Cary. One of my favorite courses in the whole country. And
why? Why is it one of your favorites in the whole country? Why do you like it so much?
It's a beautiful course, and it's just back home, and that's really where I learned the game, so kind of has a special place for me.
How long did you end up working at Foxford Hills?
Just 1 year. But I learned a lot in that 1 year, and kind of got me to know the pro shop and know kind of the whole lifestyle of the people and the characters that work there, and so got to know the ins and outs of it, and helped me get to know all the staff at Superstition Springs Golf Club, where I now have a range membership, and that's where I spend most of my time, and that's where I get all of my content at.
So how did you get into doing skits?
Skits, so it first started just with, I was doing just, golf content, and then I really just, like I said, I go to the driving range in the morning every day, and these two guys, Bill and Terry, they're absolutely hilarious. They just crack jokes to people all the time, and I would always see them telling jokes, especially to unsuspecting golfers who come in usually late for their tee time or a little hungover, a little tired, and they just want to get out to the golf course. But these guys always love to spend their time, chat with them, and tell them jokes, and I just kind of enjoyed it and watched it the whole time. So I thought one day I wanted to kind of get them on film, and I got lucky with it. The first day that I started filming, Bill, the guy in the pro shop, he actually had a list of people whose credit cards had expired, and so he had to get my new updated credit card, and it kind of made for a good skit. Just kind of I was trying to get free golf, and then he was saying I was on the naughty list, and that's kind of how it started, honestly.
I love that. What are some swing tips you could give people like me to implement into their game?
Maybe try swinging right-handed.
Yeah,
That's a very good question.
Why is it better to be a righty?
I think it would be more natural for your baseball swing.
Yeah.
Is why I would
I'm not
say
saying
that.
No, just for me.
Yeah,
though,
just
for
for you.
people.
For other people.
Yeah, just in general.
My biggest thing I would say, just try to keep your eye on the ball. It's very simple. Make sure the ball stays the same. If your head's moving, the club's moving, you're going to get out of position. It's not going to work out well if you just keep your head still everything else should fall into place. It's a really easy game, actually.
So really eyeing the ball above all. So a lot of people probably, oh, nice shot. A lot of people probably want to look where their shot is going, and so they probably pull their head up.
Yeah, and you pull your head up, you pull your shoulder off, and then it kind of messes everything
So
up.
eyeing the ball, and any other real simple tips that the fans out back home could take from your swings? Good.
That's a good question. I'm not really the golfing coach type, but I would say keep your head down and swing easy. Don't try and kill it. If you swing hard, you're going to overswing, and it's not going to work out real well for you.
What advice would you give a high school athlete right now that nobody else is telling them? This doesn't have to be golf related. It could be anything around sports.
Advice for a high school athlete.
Yep.
Just find what motivates you and find your, set up goals and kind of find out your inner childhood and be able to kind of grow on that into, something that's going to eventually turn into a career and be able to kind of develop that work ethic. I think really the biggest thing is just work ethic. And I think I learned that from you growing up and being around your family. I think you guys kind of taught me that.
What's something that you would tell your high school self around navigating your athlete journey?
That's a very good question. That's why I was kind of asking you for some advice the other night. I did go the D2 route and then ended up going to transferring to D1 Niagara. But I probably would say focus more on the education. Honestly, for myself personally,
yeah, he's not.
I think that would have been.
Say that.
Yeah, he did not. He didn't tell me to say that. But for myself personally, I think that would have been a bigger value for me if I would have put a little bit more emphasis on the education side. And who knows, that might have even helped out in my baseball career, just having to learn different things and be more adaptive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize, high school athletes out there, that the better student you are, the more schools that can recruit you too, whether it's test scores or, as we've seen now, I've gone to a lot of great campuses. The coaches say they want you taking AP classes, they want you doing multi-sports. Like, the more things you have going for you, the better chance you have to get recruited. So that's a huge improvement opportunity for all of us. Okay, so we're gonna go to the hometown now. We're from Cary, Illinois. It's a small town, about 18,000 people, 45 minutes an hour outside of Chicago, hour and a half south of Milwaukee. Very, charming, solid place to grow up, and we had a lot of fun growing up together. We were really, really close. What's the first memory you have of me growing up?
That's a good one. It's a pretty vivid memory. We were 8 years old. We were standing right outside of right by the Pinto Fields at Maplewood, and my game had just finished up. I think you were playing the game right after us, and he came up to me and introduced himself and told me my whole life story. Somehow he knew every single thing about me. He walked up and he was just like, "Yeah, I know you. You live in Island Lake. I lived a town over." He's like, "I went to a different school." I was like, "Yeah, your mom, though, she teaches at the schools here. She's a substitute at Cary, and that's why you're playing in the Cary sports." And he's like, he told me pretty much everything I knew, everything about myself. And I was like, who is this guy? I was honestly pretty confused. And then after that, we played on the Lombard All-Stars.
Yep.
And then the following year, I was on the Cubs. You were on the Diamondbacks, and we were not the best of friends for a while, actually, because Mike he got the first big barrel bat, and he hit a home run off of Alex Lyons, who had never given up any runs the entire season. So we thought he was a cheater. We chanted "cheater" at him, and we ended up beating him, and he ended up going home and crying. But it was a good learning lesson for him. His dad kind of sat him down, talked with him a little bit, and made sure that he wouldn't come back and make that same mistake again. And next time, sure enough, we played him in the playoffs. He threw harder than anybody ever faced at that age, and he ended up, unfortunately, beating us. So it ended up working out in the end for him.
That was a good memory. Yeah, we won in the playoffs, and I hit a home run that game too. Home run, and I think I struck out 6 guys out of 7 I faced. I had 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, but it was good. That was a long time ago now, and we then became full-time teammates at technically at 10 years old, because that's when the tryouts were, and then playing for the 11-year-old season. So it was very fun, and we ended up playing together. I believe I counted it up actually the other week that we played together from 10 all the way up through 22 in some capacity, except for one summer. There was only one summer that we didn't play together. Every other year from the fall when we were 10 turning 11 till 22 years old, we got a chance to play together. It was very special. What was our hometown like? What's Cary, Illinois like, and how did it shape the way you are today?
That's a great question. I never really thought of it like that, but it was a great place to grow up. It was a very good community, very sports-oriented town, and very much into education. That's how I ended up in Cary. I lived a town or two over, but not in the best school district. And like I said, my mom was a teacher herself, so she definitely wanted to make sure that me and my sister got a good education. And so we ended up moving over to Cary, and it was, like I said, yeah, great sports town. Also, just a lot to explore and kind of learn yourself as a human being, but also very not kind of sheltered. You know, could have been out and about a little bit more, but no, it was a great place to grow up.
Yeah, I know we had a great childhood. It's a very safe community, and they love sports, and everything is around really the high school football team, but even a couple other sports as well. You know, baseball is pretty big there. From our class, we had 6 kids go Division I from our grade, which is really special. That's a pretty big accomplishment. And then, you know, we were able to get a lot of great memories from there. But yeah, Cary, you know, very, very special place in my heart, and definitely where I consider I'm from is Cary, Illinois. I spent a lot of time there, and you know, I don't plan on going back. But you know, the high school experience was really special. Some of the best times of my life that I definitely miss. So what's the most trouble that the two of us got into together as kids when we were younger?
We honestly we were very good at staying out of trouble, I would say. So we really didn't get into too much trouble. But I don't know, one thing that back when we were in the same gym class, we had different teachers, but we would take our cards. We had a gym card. We would go up into the weight room, drop it off in the weight room, and then we would go back downstairs, get changed out of our gym clothes, and then usually we would go over to the media center and work on our homework. We used it as an extra study hall.
Yeah.
But sometimes we also did have a side business. We liked to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get some donuts, and then we had some people who, it was a real commodity in high school because, you know, you only have the cafeteria, so we would come back and we would sell these donuts. We'd buy them for like $1 a piece and sell them for $2. We made a pretty good profit doing it.
Good entrepreneurship.
Unfortunately, another teacher did have a similar schedule, and he also would go to Dunkin' Donuts in the third period, and he saw us a couple of times, and then he ended up telling our gym teacher, and Mike's gym teacher, he didn't really care. He was going to let him off, but my teacher, he was not so happy about it. And this is at the very end of the school because we were using the extra time to study for finals. And we ended up having to do a bunch of detention hour at the end of it, but it wasn't too bad. But
no, that was super. Yeah, I remember that. And you know, we loved it. See, at a young age, we loved the computer, loved the media center. It was a great vibe, more relaxing. And we just didn't want to tire ourselves out for the games.
Yeah, we weren't really, that was the thing, we were in season, so we weren't really lifting, we were just kind of sitting around.
Yeah, we got to be ready for the game.
The entrepreneurial spirit took over.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good. We weren't the coach's favorites growing up. I'd say that was a very contrarian mind, and so very much struggled with the coach. Trouble for me when it comes to mine would be just more so, that was a good story, but just the coaches, especially in high school, you know, they were not our biggest fans, but like I always tell the fans, you be so good they can't deny you. So like, you know, my whole high school career did not get treated well by the coaches, but then senior year I was so good that they couldn't do anything. And that's the best. That's when you win. But I wish I would have had a better relationship with my coaches. I think that's something I think that the two of us could have done a better job of, is being a little bit more likable by the coaches. And I think we didn't appreciate how much that actually impacts how they play you. And I think we could have had a better experience if we were better with the coaches.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. I could have had a better relationship with them as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think both of us.
We did. I mean, we each had a little bit of a different mindset. Mike was very focused on what he wanted to do, and he had a pretty good plan of how to do it.
Yeah.
However, it was kind of not a one-way or the highway, but definitely had to do it the CG way for sure.
Yeah, it was more of a cookie-cutter approach, but it's always learning, and I think it's cool now being on my side of the coin, understanding how if people lash out, the why behind it. And again, if they're that good, then maybe they will have more rope. If they're not that good, they don't.
Very good
That's how it goes, and that's what my dad always taught me. He said, you know, be so good that the coach will look like a complete moron if they didn't play you.
He always said that. He preached that to you.
He was very big on that, and so, like, that's definitely something that I take to heart, and I still do today.
Yeah.
was there a moment growing up when you thought this guy is going to do something interesting with his life?
From the moment I met you. Like
That's
I
very
said, I was
sweet.
confused. I was like, why does this guy know everything about me? He's wired a little bit differently. And then my mom started hearing stories from the other teachers and talking about how Mike was the most competitive chess player in kindergarten and would not let anybody beat him in just a simple game of chess. That's just the type of competitive nature he has. And I knew that. I mean, I used to always say back in the day, I always knew you would end up, being successful in something.
I appreciate that. It's very kind of him, and it's been fun to, we're 33 now, and we met at age 8. So think about it as a 25-year friendship.
Yeah.
Very, very special. So let's talk more about a little bit of the content. When you're talking about some of your skip progression, it seems like you found a real nice niche. How do other content creators find their niche? What do you advise them to do?
Find what works. It's been posting a lot of videos and.
How many are you posting a day typically?
I usually post about 2 to 3 on average per day on TikTok, and then I usually do one post on Instagram, usually about at least 5, 6, 7 days of the week. Just kind of figuring out which days work the best, but really, like I said, it was kind of figuring out what works best and seeing what videos had success and then how to repeat that. And I found a lot of it was just kind of finding different situations that golfers find themselves in. And oftentimes they're very opinionated. There's people on one side and then there's people on the other. And so kind of just picking one side and just going into that situation and doing it kind of from the point of view or the POV kind of perspective and putting people in the shoes of like you just walked into the pro shop, this situation's going on, or you showed up late, or your friend's late, and now they're canceling your tee time, and it kind of unravels. No, people do not. It makes it a little bit more interesting, and that's kind of what does get a little bit more views as well.
So how much of it is real experiences versus chaos?
I would say it's a little bit of both. I mean, it's kind of putting yourself into the chaos and then figuring out, getting the experience from that and then trying it again and trying to up the level. I like the one-hand chips.
I was doing decent on a couple of them. They got them on camera, hopefully. What's a bit or idea you've had recently that was too crazy to post?
I don't know if I can reveal this on camera, but
no, it's not that bad. Who knows what ends up happening?
No, I did
follow his content.
I did get a video of a friend of mine taking a golf cart through a bunker, trying to ramp it off, but
like this, like you just speed through it.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to take it in the bunker.
No,
right?
absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. It's very frowned upon.
Have you posted this one?
No,
yet?
I have not. For the sake of the person who did this.
Oh, okay.
I don't want them to get in trouble. And
that's fair.
I think that my followers might frown upon it a little bit too.
Yeah, you're right, because your followers probably really love the game. They might not think it's that funny.
It's a little disrespectful. I like to respect the course.
But what if you distance yourself from him and were like, I was catching this guy, like you caught this, or are you egging him on in the video?
We were kind of egging him on a little bit.
But if you could try to edit it and make it seem like you were scolding him, the fans might like that.
No, that's a very good point. That's something else I've kind of learned is this kind of, you can take one thing, but then you can also edit it and
because your fans are protective of the culture. I love it. Okay, we're going to do a rapid fire round now. We're going to do just first thing that comes to your mind, just roll with it. So, best shot of your life?
Best shot of my life? Probably hole 18 at Sidewinder Golf Club. Made an albatross.
What is that for the fans out there?
It's 3 under par on one hole, so it's a par 5. On average, you would make it in 5 strokes.
Well, not on average. A good golfer makes it 5. Most people are like 8.
So hit a good drive. It was at 500. I had about 530 yard par 5.
Oh my goodness!
And then I had, I think 200.
And you hit the green on one shot?
No, not on one shot. No. I hit a good drive, and then I was 212 yards out uphill. And then hit a great shot, and then drove up there, and my ball was in the cup.
Oh my goodness, that's like statistically probably more rare than a hole in one.
Oh, way more.
Yeah,
it's way more.
Okay, how much?
It's like
more
one
rare?
in, I don't know. It's like 1 in like 20 million or something like
wow.
that chance. Yeah.
So albatross, you learned a new word here today. I learned something new today. That's beautiful. Okay, worst shot of your life.
The worst shot of my life? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I try to forget them. In golf, you have to have a short memory. If you remember your bad shots, you're you're
He
gonna
doesn't
think about him
remember
every
it. Learn
time.
from that. There's something to be said about that. Just keep your life moving, stepping forward, and be really thankful. It's good. Top 3 courses you have ever played in your life?
Top 3 courses, I would say probably my number 1 would be Sand Hollow, out in St. George or Hurricane, Utah. Absolutely beautiful course. Then, I would maybe say Quintero Golf Club, which is in Peoria, Arizona. It's one of the best public courses in Arizona. And then maybe Seven Canyons, which is a private course up in Sedona. Just absolutely beautiful. They call it the IMAX of golf, actually.
Very cool.
Yeah.
IMAX of golf. Check it out. Sedona is an unbelievable area, and you really live in the capital of golf. What's your favorite state besides Arizona for a golfer to go to?
Wisconsin.
Really?
In the summertime, Wisconsin's amazing. I mean, I do have experience kind of going up and playing those courses back when we lived in the Chicago area, but they have some of the best courses, and they're actually building some new ones. But I mean, you have Whistling Straits, Erin Hills.
Have you played there?
I have not played at Whistling Straits. I did work at Erin Hills when they had the U.S. Open there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I first started working at Foxford Hills, well, my sister, Erin, she was a teacher at Erin Middle School right down the street.
Cool.
And the golf course is Erin Hills. And so she found out they needed people to work security, so, and just for the tournament, and ended up, I got to stand outside of the owner. He had his own little private tent and with the stairs up to it, and so I got to just stand at the bottom of the stairs and let all the people in and check their credentials and got to watch some free golf.
Have you gone to any other majors?
I haven't gone to, that was the only major I've been to, and then I've been to the Waste Management Open, and I also went to the BMW Championship where I got to follow Tiger Woods around. That was a pretty cool experience.
Tiger, he's recently been in the news, but
yes,
we don't need to go into that. Top 3 colleges for golfers looking to play pro.
I'd say Arizona State is a really good one. You had John Rahm come out of there, Ludwig Oberg, Phil Mickelson as well. And you can obviously play year-round. Arizona also is another good one. Or I would say probably Stanford. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful there. That's where Tiger went, and obviously you're going to get a great education there.
Yeah, those are some great options. It really does seem like Arizona is the pinnacle of golf. Why do you think that is?
I think because you can play 365 days of the year. I mean, like just today, knowing the weather forecast and everything, you have to check it by the hour. In Arizona, you never have to worry about it raining. And like I said, you can play 365 days a year, and there's so many courses out there.
Why do you think there's more golf in Arizona than Southern California?
Because people are a little bit more busy, I think, in Southern California and have different interests, and people in Arizona just want to golf.
No, it's amazing. I love that you have that for you. It's a great passion, and it's a great place to meet great people. What's one person you'd want to challenge to a golf match? Could be anyone.
I don't know, maybe your dad.
Hey, there we go.
I don't know, he's always been really good at everything. I don't know if I've ever beaten him at anything, so maybe that would give me an opportunity to one-up your dad.
That's a great idea. You should do that. He loves golf too, so you guys could do that every time. If your content style swapped for a week, what would it look like?
If my content style swapped for a week?
Yeah, if you wanted to try a randomly new content style, what would it be?
If I had somebody who could just, follow me around with a camera or something like that and just kind of explore and try out different things and get myself on the camera a little bit more, I think that's what I would probably work on.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah, because most of your content currently is showing other people.
Mostly, yeah.
But it'd be great to get to see more of you. That'd be awesome. So what do you wish people knew about the other person that they don't get from following them online? Okay, I guess that's a question. I guess we could edit that. But what do you wish people would know about me that they don't get from following me?
What do I wish that people know about you personally?
From my followers that they don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of what your followers don't know. I feel like you share a pretty good amount of your life with them already. Yeah, I try to be really vulnerable. Do you think they know?
Maybe
do you think they think that I'm more serious or more? Where do you think that they think of me as a person?
I mean,
I guess
think,
you probably don't see the comments.
Like I said, when I first met you, I was confused. I think you're a different breed. You're kind of like an alien a little bit. No one is really like you at all. I've never come across anybody, and I've been around some people who are very competitive and have extremely crazy work ethics, but I don't think I've ever come across someone more competitive than you.
That's fair. The fans might not know that. That's a good one. For you, I would say the biggest thing, and he hit on it before, is just more of your face shown in the content. You've done a great job of bringing your incredible sense of humor to content, but you need to be able to showcase who you are as a person more, so that way, you know, if a random fan knows you from the face, they'll have a better chance of following you long term. So I would love to see that. So really, I mean, the biggest thing we wanted to make sure we could wrap this with is like, how can the fans find you? How can we help boost your following? Where should they be trying to follow your content?
I would say mainly on Instagram. I mean, that's really where
And your handle?
Crazy Carl Golf. That's where my best videos are. I mean, if you really want to get into it and see the whole show, you can go to TikTok. There's a lot more entertainment there. But if you just want to have one good, solid skit a day, I would say go to Instagram if you want just some entertainment.
So can we get a behind the name for the fans?
A behind the name? What do you mean by that?
Saying your name is Tyler Lau, but now
yeah.
your golf name's Crazy Carl Golf. Where does the connection come? Let's get the fans some information.
Well, so when I first started my TikTok account, I was kind of, a little bit scared to really try and do it. So I didn't want to put myself out there as much. So I took my middle name, Carl, and I turned it into Crazy Carl. And then it kind of just never really, I've talked to people and tried to think of a new name or something more creative, but just hasn't really worked out, but definitely would be open to changing it or coming up with something different.
I think it's a great tag. And can you talk about that for the creators out there, the confidence, like, hey, we all get really scared when we first start. It's super hard. You're worried if people are going to make fun of you or whatnot. But like once you do it a few times, you stop caring.
Oh, absolutely.
Once the hardest part is doing it the first few times.
Well, once you kind of get it out there and you embarrass yourself, it's like, all right, I've already embarrassed myself like this, so who cares if I do something else? I mean, it's not really going to make it any worse. And then it's more freeing also, too, once you realize, like, oh, I did this, was embarrassing, and no one saw it, no one cares. So who cares? Go on to the next one.
Completely. Nobody cares. And anyone who is going to make fun of you from that is someone who's probably not your real friend anyways. And,
exactly.
The more you put yourself out there, the more good that can come to you. And I think it's really fun and it's great because, like Tyler said, we've had so many content creation opportunities throughout our life. And now it's actually a chance to be able to make money and living off of it and also spread message of positivity and really help other people. He's bringing humor into the world. I'm bringing insight on education into the world. And it's really, really fun to be able to go out there and put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. You can do it, and don't let people dissuade you. There's so much positive that comes from it. And as Tyler said, if you're really bad at it, nobody sees the post anyways. And it typically does take, like anything, they say it's the 10,000 hour rule. That's why I encourage, and he's doing a great job at it. You should be posting at least 3 times a day on whatever your main platform is to start and learning from that. So now we're doing 4 days a week or 4 times a day on TikTok, and then the best 2 make it on Instagram the following week. Learn your content style, get as much volume as possible, and you could be a great content creator as well. And please continue to follow our journeys. You got Crazy Carl Golf, you got Mike from Subject. We're both going at it together right now. He's got more views by a lot. I got more followers. We'll see where, and I have a lot more help.
You've got some good views too.
I've got some good views. I've never had a view like you though. With what's your most views? 3 million?
No, one of them's got almost 6 million now.
See, it's 6 million, incredible. I think my highest is 1.7 million. That's amazing. But that's the power of content creation. Just stick with it. You never know what can happen, and being a content creator in today's day in the world is one of the coolest jobs you could have. So I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. And I mean, mine is more of the entertainment content. Yours is more of the education content, which is harder to push, I would say, which is more respectable. And that's cool. I like the approach that you guys go with it, because someone who, like I said, I should have focused a little bit more in school and wasn't always the most interested and attentive in school. But if I had some content that made the school interesting and made the education a little bit more engaging, I think I would have been a little bit more successful myself.
Yeah, very fun. Well, let's get a shot to end it. Let's see you hit the pin.
You want which one?
Which one? Hear that?
Go far. Over the bunker.
Over the bunker? Now I'm probably gonna shank one into a car or something.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Nope, that's long.
Let me try to take a long shot and see how I do. I'm just gonna bomb one or try, I guess.
Oh,
there we go. Okay, we're gonna do a quick little game here. Scratch golfer, no golfer. We're gonna
it might not
see
be that quick.
who can be the first one to hit it on that green And then once we do that, we'll see who's the closest to the pin. Let's get after it.
All right. The key of this shot, Mike, I'll give you a little advice. You want to get it a little higher up in the air. So you want to open the club face so you can let the club slide under. Go, go.
Oh, I still have a chance. And I can compete on volume. That's how I'll just go faster. Get over there. Nope.
And then any tips you want to drop?
Oh.
Swing or anything?
Here we go.
Okay, so he beat me in the first challenge. Now we're gonna do first one to go within 3 feet of the pin.
I don't know if that's going to happen. This is a tough shot.
I think the biggest tip is just practice makes perfect. To think about,
It is.
because when we were both like college age, we did a couple like random just for fun golfing, and we both were probably relatively same skill level. But then now he's probably put in, what would you say, over 2,000 rounds potentially.
I mean, I don't know. That would be, well, how many days are in the year? 365.
How many do you play?
That would be like 7 years of playing, or like 6
Yeah.
years of playing every single day. But
How many rounds do you?
I don't know. I would say I've probably played at least 1,000.
And like this year, how many rounds do you get in out of 365 days? How many rounds do you get
I usually, I don't know, at least 100, 150 probably.
150 rounds. Like
Yeah.
the practice makes perfect. What about when you worked at the golf course? Would you get more?
Oh, I
rounds?
play like 5-6 times a week. If you want to get good at golf, you have to work at a golf course, or get to know people who work at a golf course. Become friends with the workers. That's a
What's the most amount of rounds you played in a day?
The most is, I think, about 54 holes. Which
3
would be
rounds.
3 rounds.
3 rounds of 18.
Yeah. I used to play 36 a lot.
In Arizona, or
Yeah, Arizona. And I've got a playlist too. If you like golf, 36 holes on Spotify. It's a great playlist.
36 holes.
Yeah,
on
you can play
Spotify?
more than 36 holes with it. Oh, no.
Thank you again for coming out. It's another episode of On the Subject. I'm your host. Please follow us. Especially, we're really trying to boost our following on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the podcast On the Subject. A lot of great clips. Thank you so much for being out here, Crazy Carl. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you for having me, guys. This has been a blast.